And now, the award-winning Simply Youth Ministry podcast with Doug Meals and friends.
Janet, your hands are a little cold. What's going on?
And dusty.
Dusty for sure.
Hey everybody, we have been away a couple weeks.
Yes.
Doug Fields here with
We're
Josh Griffin and
Hi.
Jana Sardi/Talman. And Matt McGill is
Where did that come from?
Matt McGill is absent.
He's too big time to be at a little show like this.
Well,
so.
we've taken a couple weeks
Seriously.
off, and I think with Matt, the problem is rhythm. He just got
Yeah.
out of a rhythm, and he
He-
booked things on Thursday afternoon when he should know better.
He
but
knows better.
here's
Thursday
what we thought.
afternoons is the show.
We know he's not going to listen to the show.
Not a chance.
So what I just, as I was driving over here, I called Josh. I said, Josh, find out an email that we could get all the listeners to send McGill an email. Because there's
Let's
been
do
this
it.
thing about the poll, like, didn't you start it?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
who do you like better, me or Josh?
Yeah, and I've won every
Me
time.
or Josh?
Josh or
Matt.
Matt?
Yeah.
And you've won every time.
And I've won every time, and it's really hurt him to the very core. I mean, he doesn't have very thick skin.
Yeah.
He's not very mentally tough.
He could care less, but here's what we're thinking.
Where's the poll?
Jerusalem, by the way.
That's awesome.
That was funny.
Lord
From our
of
live
God.
audience, he's preparing the New Jerusalem. But we know he won't listen to this. He probably
Yeah.
actually forgot. Actually, I texted him this morning and said, "Any chance you're gonna make it?" And he texted back. What did he say? Something to the effect of, "I am in Irvine, then have a phone appointment. I love podcasts. Don't doubt that."
Oh.
So you know that was about as emotional as he gets.
Yeah, little
So here's
tear.
what we're thinking. We started the show off by you sending an email
Yes.
to mattmcgill@live.com.
Yeah, so it's his personal email address. We're just going to fill it up with people from
So
the
it's
show.
not his church email address. It's personal.
Yeah, so if you're on the live audience right now.
MCGILL. And here's the essence of the message. You can write him whatever you want. We missed you. You are much better than Josh.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Let's tell him.
Yeah.
Matt is my favorite, is what you're...
Big time.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, big
Hello,
time
big
McGill.
time.
Yeah. Too
Dear
good for
big
us.
time.
Anything. Just
Sorry
go
you
ahead.
couldn't
just
be there.
Fill his inbox in. Because we tried to play a trick on Andy last time. Because Andy, the last show, what show number is this? Oh, this is 88. The 87. Andy says he's got to leave early. And he shuts down the live show.
Yeah, right.
And then we got emails from the live show people, and they didn't
Yeah.
even, our most loyal listeners, they didn't get the bonus because we tried to say, what would hurt Andy the most? A
Free
deep
stuff.
discount.
Giving stuff away.
Yeah.
So we did this Love Out Loud, this video series that I've done, and it was $39, and we said you could have it for $19 if you wrote in Andy with the $sign.
Which is ridiculous, by the way.
What do you mean
It's
ridiculous?
a very well-priced product.
But it was a great get. It is a good price.
Yeah, nobody was
Six-
doubting the product or the price.
Six
Well, it's not
sessions.
a dollar sign on there. It's insinuating that it's...
No, it's
No, that was
insinuating.
No,
more
that was
you.
to you that you didn't like to give away.
Yeah, it's
You're money
insinuating that
hungry.
you're always about the bottom line. So I get the emails yesterday, and the first email are, Jeremy Cross. Man, I'm bummed missing the great price. Another guy
Thanks
tried
a lot,
purchasing
Andy.
the Love Out Loud curriculum, but the code didn't work.
Oh.
Andy blocked it. He made
Yeah,
it so it
he's
would work.
like, we're not doing
Love-
that.
Sabotaged on
Love
the other
Out
end.
Loud at a great discount. Code doesn't work. I tried the Andy $sign. It
Oh,
didn't
wow.
work.
Look at all the
Andy.
money you saved, Andy.
You just made
Look
money
at-
right here.
You
Yeah.
saved a lot of money
Each
right
of these
here.
is worth
So
dollars.
here's one. Jason Stevens says, I tried to get on the simplyyouthministry.com and buy the Love Out Loud series on Monday, the day of the sale, but none of the promo codes work. I think Andy sabotaged it.
Yes, I think so.
So here's what, when I asked Andy
So
today.
what are we
here's-
gonna do now? Yeah.
Well, here's what Andy said. Andy said you can't use a $sign in the promo code. So
You can only
me
use
trying to be
letters.
sneaky,
So it would have just
So-
been Andy would have worked.
I felt like we need to do it again.
I agree.
And I think we should do it on Monday.
I think we need to send out a newsletter with it on there
I
too.
think that's
No, I
ridiculous.
don't. But I feel like we cheated our
I
listeners.
agree.
So this also kind of gives a second chance.
Yep.
So what is next Monday? Because this show will go up on Friday. What's the
20th.
date of Monday?
20th?
20th.
20th.
Okay.
Love Out Loud. It's 6 or 7 weeks. What is it?
6 weeks.
6 weeks of video curriculum, me teaching
Yep.
short little amounts on love. You can show it to a small group, youth group, whatever. $39 regularly. It is the It is the Andy left too soon from the podcast special. Just put
$19
in
penalty.
Andy, $19. Now here's the
Awesome.
kicker of the whole
Wait, just
deal.
put in
Yeah.
Andy.
Put in
No
Andy.
dollar sign,
Yeah,
just Andy.
Just Andy. And
Think dollar sign, just don't type it in.
Yeah. But here's the deal. We get out of the podcast.
And he's still not on.
He's not even
I
on
know,
the
he's
phone.
just sitting there.
He's
Yeah.
not even on the
I
phone.
remember
I
that.
can't help it that the people that I need to talk to do
Unreal.
not respect my time.
The people that he talked to.
Oh.
Hopefully
Which
they
were-
won't listen to the show
Yeah, I
either.
know,
Yeah.
you're-
Didn't you have a
I think the
phone
names
conference?
of the people that we're talking to should go unnamed at this time.
Okay.
I bet
So
you
we
do.
won't
I bet.
name Tom and Joni Schultz.
Oh.
Was it with both of them or just Joni?
Just joking.
Just Joni, and she didn't call you
Oh,
in time,
wow.
so you scampered out like a little eager employee.
I did.
Like, she signs my paycheck, and because now have we even told people yet that Andy's moving to Colorado?
I
No,
don't
we
think
certainly have not told any.
we just
Oh
did.
my
We just
gosh.
did. Andy's moving to Colorado,
Yeah.
and he's turning red at the same time.
I know.
Here's
I
what
didn't know we could break news like that on
you know.
This is huge.
You know what
Put
was
it on
off.
your
You know what
Facebook.
was on the hook to get him to Colorado? More
A new-
money. More money.
Dollar sign.
I was gonna say a new
Cha-ching.
mountain bike or something.
Unreal.
Wow.
Something that
See, who can pay more than Doug can?
He's
Oh,
already
Groot.
loaded,
Yeah.
and now, wow.
Yeah.
So now you
Yeah.
make more than all of us combined.
This
Is that right?
ridiculous, and I refuse to have
At
this
least you and
conversation.
Seriously.
No offense.
None taken.
That's
yeah,
awesome.
Andy
More
is moving to
dollars.
Colorado. He's going to be. What is your job title going to be?
Sellout manager.
The man.
Come on.
Oh, he doesn't want to talk about it. Look at him.
Look at it.
But-
He's too big now.
But
to-
we got a new
wow.
camera.
Look at that. Well, at least the money's brought in some new technology. That's impressive.
Andy, Kathy, and I.
We still
Just
still
got
have to
done doing
stack it
the
on
marriage.
boxes, but that's okay.
But it's a new camera.
That's
Are we in
funny.
high definition? Is
a
that what
new
that is?
camera
It's nice.
stacked on boxes. That's funny.
Wow.
Andy, Kathy, and I just got done doing the Marriage and Family podcast, and one of the emails I forgot to ask you about this said, "How come I can't download the Marriage and Family podcast in video? Is it only audio?
No, it's audio and video. And I
It's audio and video." So that person was just
Yeah.
bad. Okay. So anyway, Matt McGill, MCGIL at live.com.
Yes.
All right. And let him know that this was the worst show that you've ever listened to. And
Without
he's-
him.
he's
Because he
the
was not
best.
here.
And he
He's
is
the
not only the
greatest.
future of the church, he's the future of youth ministry and
Yes.
all that stuff. It says a few weeks ago, now by the way, are you guys on for next Thursday? Are we 2 weeks in a
Absolutely.
row?
Of course.
Because I was in Sacramento last weekend, and I'm doing the seminar, and I said something like, somebody says, "Oh, hey Doug, can we write you questions, and will you answer them?" And I said, "Man, I wish I could. I can't even answer my own church's emails." I said, "But I do this podcast every week." And all of a sudden I hear this every week.
Oh.
The guys in the crowd were killing
That's
me.
awesome.
So, all right. I think I said I try to do it
Yeah.
every week.
I'm
so.
on for next week. Are you on?
Sure.
Yeah. Hey, and I got a lot of
I've
questions.
got lots of time.
So does Andy. Oh no, he has lots of money.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's it. But lots of time. Janet, you don't see this as a time. This is a ministry. This is our friends who are doing ministry. A lot of them by themselves. They
Yeah, I don't
have
mind
the-
them. It's you guys that I'm Just kidding.
Ah,
That was actually
Awesome.
the first funny thing in a few times.
stings a little bit.
Oh, but
but
that's all right. You don't have to be funny. That's why Josh is here.
yep.
A few weeks ago, I asked if any of you knew of resources similar to Rooted, but more youth groupy. To my utter delight, you threw it out there for podcast listeners to email you resources they knew about. So as I see it, one of four things happened. You guys remember this?
I wasn't here.
There was a conversation about Rooted, and what were some other ones? And I said, hey, if you're a listener, why don't you send
Oh,
in?
right. Yep.
So he says, 1, all of your listeners are lame and never emailed in. 2, you neglected to keep your word by sharing the names of the resources others have emailed in. 3, Doug lost those emails somewhere in a pile, probably in his car.
Mm-hmm.
be
That's true.
fair.
That's a faithful listener.
I know.
It is.
And 4, the second highest paid
Ah.
employee
You
of
should bring that up.
SYM vetoed talking about any resource Doug didn't write.
Other than simply stuff. Yes.
This is from
good.
Mike
Funny.
McGarry, Emmanuel Baptist Church, Norfolk, Massachusetts. And actually, all of those could have been true,
Especially number 4.
but here it is. Number 1, all your listeners are lame and never emailed any in. I printed for the very first time.
Oh.
Jana
Yeah,
actually
I
walked
read-
into
This
my
is
office.
unbelievable. Yeah.
Jana walked into my office yesterday
No thanks
as
to
I'm
you.
printing. Yeah, no thanks to you,
Here's the deal.
Josh.
I care about the environment. I didn't want to print them out anymore on paper.
That's good.
Not true.
So I printed them all. I printed them all out, and not one person wrote in with any
There you
discipleship ideas related to Rooted. But I thought that was funny. Actually, did you see me put LOL? Because when I was reading it, I laughed out loud at that one. I thought that was a well-written one. Kyle Whipple says, I'm on my way to Michigan from Pennsylvania, and my music was starting to get old. The whole family is out, and I'm bored out of my mind. And then, like the sun shining through the clouds, I remembered I waited all week to listen to 87. Sweet action. Thanks for keeping me awake.
Sweet
His
action.
poor-
I
Wait,
love that.
Did he
I'm
say he
gonna
was
steal
with
that.
his family too? So they had to listen to
No,
it?
he says
Oh,
they were
okay.
out, so they were probably
okay.
asleep or
Gotcha.
dead.
We
I
should
don't
clean it up
know.
then if we're gonna be a family show.
This is from Barry Sharp, and I actually just got done signing a book for Barry Sharp.
Very sharp.
This was supposed to be a surprise, wasn't it?
No, he. Oh, yeah. So it was.
Surprise!
Surprise, Barry.
Woo, we got a prize for you!
Barry, you're getting a Speaking of Teenagers book. Barry says, Barry is the one that we gave the free.
We are terrible at this.
We gave, yeah, I know.
And it says don't use his name.
Yeah, exactly. We're terrible at anything that's confidential or,
A
surprise.
guy who we're just gonna
No.
call Barry.
This is a guy.
And actually, since we don't read the emails, you're terrible.
Yeah,
at
I
Exactly,
know.
Yeah, why? We're.
Believe
come
me,
on.
I am not denying that at all.
I'm about to leave my church. I hate my senior pastor. Sorry, Barry.
No, we gave this guy a free conference to
Oh.
our conference in February, the
Awesome.
Simply Youth Ministry group conference.
Fantastic.
truck
It's
driver?
gonna be fantastic.
The truck driver.
Yeah.
remembered.
Okay.
That's good. You
He
care.
says, I hope you don't think that this is weird, but I live in a rural setting. I had to wait 2 hours to download the podcast due to me having dial-up. So Barry, when we talk
You're
about
right. We think that's weird.
Yeah.
we talk about one person left in the United States with dial-up, it's Barry.
This is the guy. All right.
I also had to show my wife the email in order for her to believe me that we gave him a free conference. After I let my associate pastor and senior pastor know what was going on, they brought it up during the next church business meeting. To my surprise, the church agreed to give me $500 for the conference. I asked my pastor if I was asking too much money all the time. And he told me that when he first started out, he was in youth ministry, and when he asked for $50, they would scream about breaking the budget. What a blessing to know that there are people out there like you guys that lend a hand to youth pastors everywhere. My wife and I can't wait to meet you, Kathy, and the gang of the podcast.
Wow.
Thank you so much, and may God continue to bless Simply Youth Ministry. Well, they
That's
will.
neat.
They will now that Andy's moving to Colorado.
Yeah.
But Barry,
Much
and there was
poorer.
also something. There was another email we got about speaking to teenagers. We
For his
thought,
pastor.
oh, for his
The vote for
pastor.
his pastor.
Does it say Dear Barry?
Yeah.
Well,
Barry got one too.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, that's awesome. So we should take Barry out for Outback somewhere. I think.
Yeah, well, we're actually having a contest, I think. Are we
Ooh,
still doing
whoa.
this, Andy? I got an
Sweet.
email from about a week ago,
We are, yes.
and nothing's
Yes,
printed
yes.
out for me. That is steel trap memory right there.
That's I don't even know what we're talking about.
Well,
tell me.
because it only went to me, because it wasn't tied to
It
a free
actually
T-shirt.
starts the week of the
Or a
27th.
free meal.
The week of the 27th, what?
The contest starts the week of 27th.
Well,
What is the contest?
Outback triggered it, so I'm excited. There
Here's,
might be
I don't
food
really
involved.
remember what the contest was. Here's what I remember, though.
All right.
Andy said, would I be willing to, for all of us, would I be willing to make the commitment for all of us that we would all go out to dinner or a meal or lunch or something with a winner of a contest, podcast
Oh,
contest.
That's a great idea. So while we're at the group conference in Columbus, we're all going to go together to.
I'd rather you not call it the group
Oh, sorry.
conference.
Simply Youth Ministry Group Youth Ministry.
Simply Youth
Conference.
Ministry Group. Okay,
Great.
they'll probably be reversed now that Andy's moving out there.
Seriously.
It'll probably be the group Simply Youth Ministry Conference.
Exactly. Kind of true. Kind of true. All right. So what?
And what is the contest? You got to get in before the
And more
early bird.
importantly,
You have
where are we
use
going
promo
to eat?
code when you register.
Promo code when you
Choose
register for the
one person
conference.
From that use that promo code gets to go to
Great.
What's the promo code? Andy with dollar signs?
I'll find it. Give me one sec.
Oh, da, 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 da,
Oh.
da, 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 da.
That would
I'll
be
You're
sweet.
not
find
ready?
it.
You're not
Wait,
ready?
where are
You
we
don't
going to
know?
go? More importantly, what restaurant are we taking them?
Wait,
to?
I
Well,
hope they
you
have
know
better
what?
food than
Here's-
Cincinnati.
They do.
Here's
We
what
already
I-
checked.
here's what I
It's a
know,
great
though.
hotel. It's going to be cool. Yeah.
Because I know that when we go to pay for that, it will be on the group credit card.
Absolutely. Andy
All right.
Andy's
While
gonna be
Andy does
cringing.
the work you should have done beforehand.
What restaurant? Let's go
Wherever
to
you guys want.
Steak.
Ruth's Chris.
You heard it. Wherever we
That's
want.
cool. I'm totally game.
Fleming's?
Podcast-
Serious?
Seriously?
Ruth's Chris?
Yeah,
They-
it's a big contest.
Yeah, they
Register
don't
now.
have one there, but you
This is great. Wait. So we're going to take a winner who registers with that promo code.
Okay,
out
so the
to
three of
Steak.
us
So
and Matt
we're all
McGill.
going to the group conference?
You haven't been invited yet?
You're on the brochure. What are you talking about?
I was kidding.
That's awesome. This
Okay.
is going to be super. I just found like a steak in Columbus. Yes. Can Jake come with too?
Josh, shut up. Would you just... Come on.
Steak is so awesome. This is a great day.
Wait,
Josh,
why
here, I'm going to give you a
Jake?
question. Answer
All right.
this question.
Softball, I hope. Here we
How,
go.
how do you approach a teenager who lied straight to your face and then you later caught him in the lie? This is from Chrissy in
Yeesh.
Tampa, Florida.
Yeah, well, that's a tough one. Tough thing. But you got to confront him face to face.
What is tough about that?
It's tough, man. Tough because it hurts when people lie to you.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's tough
I thought it
because
was
you're
a tough
wounded a little
question.
bit. It's personal. I hate it. I think you just got to confront them face to face, and you do it in love, and you just say you've hurt me, and you
How would
lied.
you do it? Let's role play.
Great.
Jana,
I'm a liar.
Janice the liar. Actually, Andy would be better.
Yeah,
but
because
why-
well, it's more fitting of his character. But I would say, Andy, you told me this, and you were wrong, and you lied actually, and so we need to have a talk about it. And then I'd probably punch him.
That's out of
What-
No, oh, we're role playing still.
Yeah,
Okay, well here's the evidence. See, now what?
eat it.
Yeah.
I'm kicking you out of youth group right now. Get out of here.
Straight on conversations.
Yeah.
And you know, that's not
Face-to-face,
just even a
in
kid in the
love.
youth ministry. That's a neighbor. That's a spouse. That's your own child.
I was
That's
just
a
thinking about
friend.
that.
I mean, if somebody lies straight to your face and you catch them in it, to have any integrity in that relationship, you can't sweep that under the rug. You got to deal with that.
Totally.
Jonas Knudsen, West Side Church of Reading. He says, my question has to do with a volunteer that I have who seems to act one way at church and another way outside of church. She has been a student in the youth group longer than I've been there and just graduated, is now serving in the junior high. All I have is hearsay about the life she is living, so I don't know if I can approach her on it without breaking trust with other students. How do I encourage her to live to a standard that is above reproach?
I think you tell her this is what you don't have to use names, but you say this is what people are saying about you. Is it true? And if it is true, let's talk about that and what that means. I mean,
Yeah, I had one of these not too long ago.
we were just talking about something about that of like this is the perception. You don't want this perception of yourself. If it's not true, you don't
Right.
want this perception. So what are you doing?
Yeah,
That's-
I'm coming to you, and you can just be upfront. It's hearsay, and I care about our relationship and care about your integrity so much that if it is true, let's deal with it. If it's not true, I want you to know what's being said.
Right.
Right.
And you're protecting yourself and the ministry. But
Well,
you got to be careful with that. Also, you hear enough. I had a friend. It's something about cheese. If it smells like cheese, if it looks like cheese, if it tastes like cheese, it's probably cheese.
probably cheese.
Yeah, there's something to the effect of hearsay. You hear it enough, you probably there's probably some truth to it.
Yeah.
But you go in with the idea. I mean, I just did this and said, I don't know if this is true.
Yeah.
But I care about you and I care about our ministry, and I need you to know what's being said.
Yeah.
I think the only thing is the caution of like, are you hearing it from one person, and what's the dynamic of
Right.
their relationship,
Do
or are
they have
you
an axe
hearing
to
it?
grind?
Yeah. Or are you hearing it from multiple people?
Well, and are there requirements to be a leader in the junior high ministry? There's probably requirements that this person might be breaking, and so if they're breaking the requirements, then you can go to their leadership and say, hey, you might want to have a conversation with them about the commitments that are being broken. So, and if they're not breaking any rules, then they're not breaking the covenant that you have set up.
And you know what? So much of leadership in the church is difficult conversations. I mean, to be honest, it is just it seems like it's a series of tough conversations, one after the other. I mean, one after the other, meaning that not that they have to be every day, but they could be one every other week. But it sure seems like you get all the angst about the conversation. You're nervous and diarrhea and all the stuff that goes along with it. You have the conversation, then I got to have another one of these.
But I think we kind of sometimes get focused on like this is a leader, and our focus is students, and I think our ministry is to this leader too, though. I mean, we need to consider this a ministry opportunity too, and this could change. A good conversation and it handled well can change the way she's living her life out for Christ, also.
Yep.
So.
Absolutely. I met Jonas. I didn't read the whole part of his. I walked into the exhibit hall. I was actually looking for Nadim to do something on my computer before I did a seminar.
You didn't know how to turn it on.
Oh, power button, of course.
PowerPoint?
Yeah, no, I met him and his wife, and it was very, very cool couple.
Did he have a brother?
No,
A Jonas-
it says
Jonas brother?
on a scale of
doesn't know who they
1
are.
to awesome. I don't know.
I'll tell
who
him
they
later. They're
are.
a band, really, really popular band with the little girls.
Yeah, what did Cassie called them? The Jonas Sisters or something like that the other
That's
day.
funny.
Oh, you have to move the camera.
Look at that. The bottle got,
Is it showing?
Yeah.
it got stuck in the blinds.
Hey, that's
awesome.
the best part of the entire podcast so far.
Most entertaining.
That and Matt's not here, and we're getting to some questions. On a scale of
Role
1
play
to
is pretty
awesome,
awesome,
the
Yeah, that one
Simply
went
Youth
really
Ministry
well.
podcast
We'll do that again.
is super duper awesome.
Oh, well, I thank you, Jonas brother.
This is from Joe Marinich. He says, I have a question. Last year I went to the National Youth Ministry Conference in Cincinnati, and this year my wife and I were given the option to attend it again or go to Saddleback for the PDYM
Ooh,
conference.
tough choice.
Everyone on staff has been to Saddleback except me and my wife. I have never attended the PDYM conference, and as a youth guy, going to Doug's house for ice cream would be paradise.
What about steak in Columbus, though?
That's true. I would like to ask you guys which conference would be better to go to because I can only attend one. It is almost decision time, so that we can get registered. Please let me know. Well, here's the good thing, Joe, is both of us are going to have conferences next year. So choose one and go to the other one, the following year. This email, you can see I put them together because I
Yeah.
read them and this felt like a prep. It says, Jana and friends. Jana's the only one that didn't call me a girl, so now she's my favorite. This is from Mr. Casey Prince.
Oh, Casey.
You've had people asking about which conference they should attend lately on the podcast. You guys have been trying to be nice and not really pick one, so I thought I'd offer a few
Oh,
thoughts.
boy.
Neither of ours.
I've been-
Catalyst.
yeah,
no, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
There it is.
Goes?
I've been to Youth Specialties presented by Doug Field several times and had the
That's
opportunity to attend PDYM last year. Youth Specialties is fun and inspirational, but it can also be a bit overwhelming with the giant expo area and people racing around trying to get free stuff. It's like Walmart at Christmas. The thing I loved about
Not this
PDYM was how personal and practical it was. It was done very well and professionally, but more comfortable. I got lots of content that I could take home and apply in my context. I had an awesome conversation with Jake, and he really offered his time and thoughts, even though he didn't pull his weight lately on the podcast.
That's our boy.
We invited him today and he wouldn't come.
Yeah, he is
The
boundary.
staff
Serious.
were
What's
the
he
staff
thinking?
were very friendly and helpful. Plus, if you go to PDYM, you can take advantage of the hosting program. Are we having the hosting program this year? If need,
If we have some room in our backyard.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
I'm
if
just kidding.
people need
Camping
a
program.
place.
Yeah.
If
Hey,
people
Andy's
need a
house
place
won't be
to
sold by
stay.
then.
Oh, that
Oh.
Sorry.
There's no smile here, Josh.
No, that would be close to
hurts.
home.
I can't imagine how awesome PDYM would be this year, even if smaller and more intimate. So I guess this is a growing recommendation for PDYM. I would love
Oh.
it and go again in a heartbeat. Here's
That's
what I
nice.
would say. PDYM is going to have about 500 people. We're selling it out. We're keeping it quote unquote small. The
A few more than 500, but yes,
The
small.
Simply Youth Ministry and the group conference is going to be larger. It's going to be in a hotel. It's
Oh.
going to have a lot of, a potpourri of incredible communicators and youth workers and the whole bit.
Yep.
At PDYM, you're seeing kind of a church-based model versus at
It's just our team. It's
Yep.
not a lot of flash.
Right. Our
It's
volunteers,
it's us.
our students.
It's us.
are-
Where the group
really
conference
mellow.
group conference has Duffy Robbins and Chap Clark and
All
Dave
the stars.
Ron
Janice
and
Sardi.
Kara Ekman.
No, I haven't been
You read
invited.
the brochure.
I'm not invited. I'm just kidding.
Andy Brazelton. Oh, you'll probably be. Oh, you won't be at both. Will you come back?
Yeah.
Good. Andy will be at either
If
one.
Gianna lets me.
That's the talk after this.
Yeah.
So
Negotiate
the Simply Youth Ministry Group Conference is February 27th through March 2nd, and the PDYM Conference is March 24th through the 27th.
And use the promo code. What promo code did you find?
SYM podcast.
SYM podcast.
When you register for the group conference, you can get a steak
Would
dinner.
you quit calling it the Group Conference?
Ah, sorry.
Simply Youth Ministry.
Simply
Conference.
SYM/group conference.
Travis Bush from Rocky River Community Church says, "My name is Travis Bush,
Yep, got that.
and I've been in youth ministry for 8 years. I've never done youth ministry mobile like I've had to do for the past year and a half. Do any of you have any tips on how to do youth ministry mobile? And how can I find out more info on the PDYM conference?"
is good.
because my wife and I need to come.
That's awesome.
PDYM conference, pdymcommunity.com.
Yep.
How do you do youth ministry mobile?
Yeah, is that out of a trailer? Is that what that means?
I'm guessing without a building. That's what I'm guessing.
Well, we've got lots of experience doing it without a building.
Mobile
Yeah,
phone?
I've done it most of my life without a building. Here's the deal with mobile. It's a drag. It's more work. You've got to get there earlier. You've got to set the setting. You're always constantly changing. If your kids are smart, they'll find out where you're meeting.
Yeah.
It just requires a lot of work. It can be done. I mean, right now we built a building in June, and it's the first time in 25 years I've ever had a permanent building that we haven't had to share.
Well, and even previous to that, we did a service in one location and had to move the service for Sunday night or Sunday morning.
Right.
Yeah,
so
we
we
do
did
it.
one on
You had to switch.
yeah,
to
Yeah, we
different
do a
building,
Sunday
yeah.
night service and then
Saturday night.
Saturday
Sunday
night, and then
morning.
move it to Sunday. Yep.
Yeah. Well, you definitely have to come early and stay late. You have to have a strong work ethic to pull off.
Well,
Yeah,
pulled
you
in
know,
volunteers and student leaders to
Volunteers
help
are as
set
big as
up
ever,
and tear
yeah.
And
down.
when people
and
talk about
carry.
starting a church, maybe because I'm old, but I'm going, gosh, the energy to start a church, and you're always unpacking and setting up, and I mean, I know that maybe that's why people start churches in their 20s and not in their 40s.
Fair.
But yeah, we probably need to be a little more specific on that question. If you
But
can, send it to podcast@simplyyouthministry.com. I have access to all questions. I can print them out
Oh,
now.
well,
Well,
ahead of
even
time.
some of our regional guys, though. I mean, like Jake would be a good
Right. Right. 'cause he
enter in
did-
some good dialogue with that.
You know what? When ministry is based on relationships, it can happen anywhere. And it's not based on a building. It's not based on props. It's not based on a stage. Or it is nice when you want to show something.
Yeah.
Depending on how many kids you have, it's either around a computer or it's a digital projector or something like that. But you can definitely do ministry for a long time being mobile. Marv Nelson from Nyack, New York says, do you ever co-author with unknown authors? I'm writing a book on authenticity called Transparent. It is such a huge topic for teens today, and I'm passionate about this subject. Do you think you'd want to co-author?
Wow.
I don't know. What do you think, Josh?
Wrote into
Would
the
I-
podcast?
Would I want to co-author?
I'm gonna be very transparent here and say
Interesting,
love
because
to?
that's the title. Transparent.
I think you'd love to, but it just no. I think you just.
And I'm
can't.
gonna say, transparent. You have to work on PDYM rewrite.
Yeah, I don't have time to.
You got
I like
a
the
big one
idea.
on
The
your plate.
problem, though, with a book like this, a book on authenticity titled Transparent, kids don't really buy books. So when you're writing something for teens, it's got to be so niche and
Yeah.
Andy's going, perfect time to promote active Bible studies.
What else can I do?
By Kurt Johnson and Katie Edwards. 20 experience-driven Bible studies for junior hires. A book that Simple Youth Ministry did. That
A
looks
CD in the back, it's all editable.
CD in the back.
Did you
all
say
20.
edible?
Yeah.
Oh,
I am
editable.
hungry.
Actually, Andy, why doesn't he send the proposal in to you?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
Because
a good idea.
Simple Youth Ministry has become a publishing juggernaut. And because this podcast reaches millions, it's award-winning.
Yes.
The only way that we can keep it on the air with all the money that's being spent on
Look
new
at that
cameras
camera.
and
Yes.
bandwidth.
Cost us last week alone for the show we put out
No, how
$1,000 for that one show.
Oh, $1,000.
$1,000 for one show.
$1,000 for a show.
$1,000? That doesn't even include Josh's salary.
No.
Wow.
What do you get paid for doing the
Or
podcast?
lunch.
I get
The
paid-
leftover lunch.
Nothing.
Nothing. This
Ask
is
me
free.
what I get paid. Nothing. Jana?
Bucks, you guys. Big zero.
Sometimes
bucks.
there's lunch before we get here.
Yeah, I did have half a sandwich.
Tuna
Which was
sandwiches.
really good.
$1,000?
That's
Wow.
Yeah, it was
So that's a
Good thing we don't do
$1
them every week, huh?
Yeah.
every week.
$1,000. Can you say
That's
active
why.
active Bible studies?
Yeah.
A lot of active Bible studies to make up for that.
Now I feel bad about discounting that thing from $39 to $9.
Well, let's raise the price of active Bible studies then.
That's true. What is this for?
Let's
what
say
is-
it's $20. Can we make this one $40 now
How
on the
much is this?
website? A podcast special the other way.
25. So here's the deal. If you put in podcast Andy, it'll be $50. We'll double it. Help us
You
pay
might
for
get a
the.
steak dinner, but you're going to pay a lot for that resource.
All right.
This is cool.
Editable.
Editable.
It is.
Little different than edible.
Okay, what happened to your book? Were you writing a book?
That's done.
Where is
Good,
it?
too, it's fun.
Where is it?
I don't know. I haven't found a publisher yet.
Abby won't publish it.
He's lying. He already has a contract.
Really?
No,
I don't even know about
no,
this.
I haven't talked to Doug
You
about
haven't
it.
got that far yet,
No,
have you, bud?
I wanted to be the one to tell you and ask you and talk about it. But apparently we're gonna do it live in front of $1,000 worth of people.
You're not moving, are you?
No, yeah, I'm going to Colorado.
Janice said
No, Andy.
I actually don't have
yeah,
one either.
long story.
That's true.
Junior sent it.
Andy got you to write a
Okay.
book.
Andy got me to write a book.
Okay.
And I was going to talk to you about it before I gave the 100% yes. Because it's a big deal. It would be the first time that I've ever done anything like
I
that.
thought you were.
So
When are you going to do it?
It's done.
I wrote it. I wrote it last year.
Oh, okay. Is it the one about, your youth pastor when you get free T-shirts and stuff
Yep,
like
that's
that?
the one.
Okay.
Rockstar Youth Ministry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
Free T-shirt today.
all right.
Thank you.
Wait, that took me like 5 seconds to catch on to. I was like, huh?
No, look, Rockstar Junior High Energy. Just
That feels like such a ripoff of
it's
the
a total ripoff.
the
Yeah.
energy drink.
Yeah. I know.
Copyright infringement?
It's not me.
Copyright.
I just
No,
wear the
because
shirt.
don't you only have to change like 10% of the graphic, and then
Yeah,
it's like
it's like
you don't have
parody
to-
or something.
Yeah,
Yeah. So hey, can we talk about that later? Not on the air.
Yeah.
The book thing.
Yeah,
Great.
sure.
we're talking about a shirt.
Great. I know, but
Oh.
just I didn't want
Okay, this is a
to. Thanks a lot.
this is a question. Hey, is Sean Calick still on our live audience? Because he
is
was
so
during the marriage and
crazy.
family. Sean asks a question. He says, in my student ministry, we meet in the church's fellowship hall for all of our programs. Everyone knows that's where we're at. I've been encountering a problem that I'm not sure how to deal with. Repeatedly during our midweek event, when I'm giving my talks, random church members will walk through the fellowship hall to get a Coke out of the machine that's right behind the students' chairs. And by default, that becomes more interesting than what I'm teaching until that person leaves.
Oh, it is.
This
it
happens
is.
pretty often, and I'm not sure how to approach the church to ask them to stay out until we're done. Do you have any suggestions?
Put a sign on the Coke machine that says, "Hey,
No, move the machine.
Unplug the machine. Forget the sign.
Yeah.
Forget moving. Just unplug it. Let them go in there and hit it a little bit.
Just move
Or-
the machine into the
and put a video camera next to that."
Ah.
and see how
can play it next week. That's funny.
Yeah. Or do something where your teaching's more interesting. No, that's not. That's
awesome.
not. But he says by default that becomes more interesting than what I'm teaching. So he kind of sets
Well-
himself up because I don't know how getting a Coke is more interesting. Than
Could you
teaching.
change the orientation of the room so that everyone's facing the Coke machine? So when someone walks in,
That'd be awesome.
it's not in the back of the room. It's now the front of the room.
That's
so when
a good
they walk
idea.
in and
You gotta prep your youth group. Okay, every time somebody walks in, you guys say
cheer.
this.
Yeah, cheer for them or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Say out of order.
I like it.
That
Yeah,
might be
you got to
fun.
move the machine, don't you think? If
I
that's your
would
youth
just
room-
unplug it.
Yeah.
I just unplug it.
Yeah.
But
But you're still unplugging it doesn't help us. People still come in. And
well, they come in and they go, "Oh, it's not working."
machine's
Just, "Oh, it's
dark
not
and-
working." Yeah. Put a sign or put a sign over
well,
it.
then they
That just
might
takes
not
more
come
work.
back.
What if they don't spell it correctly?
What if they can't read? What if they're illiterate? What about those people?
All right,
Blind?
Corey Bearden. Hey, I got a lot of questions. I
Oh
wanna get
my
to.
word!
you're not
Seriously?
gonna get through all
No, but
those.
here's
we
the deal.
have to go somewhere. Yeah.
No,
I
he
need to
doesn't.
leave already?
No. You still got 2 minutes. But here's the deal. Here
1
is-
minute. You have 1 minute. Hurry, go.
What?
Nothing. We're just talking about your filing system in your car.
I was
Your
gonna
new
say
car?
if I don't get to these, we're gonna.
They're going to go into the black hole of the
But
Forerunner.
I now have access of how to get new ones. I'm in the process of planning summer 2009. This is for you, Josh.
Oh, okay.
Right? Okay, author.
Buy my book. It's. Sorry. Go.
I would like to do some cool trips this summer, but I also want to keep costs down during these hard economic
Oh,
times.
that is a
I'm
good.
planning to do a mission trip, youth camp,
Camping.
and a weekend trip just for fun, along with all the other events.
Put a Coke machine in your youth room and raise
Unplug
money.
it.
Have you noticed how kind of spunky Janet
I'm
is?
loving it too.
Matt's-
They've all noticed.
Matt's away.
That's away and Janet's back.
Yeah.
She's here.
Does he intimidate you? Does he dominate you?
He
Was it because she had a
does.
crush on?
Because he's the
He's
future.
He's just he
She had a
loves
crush
her.
on him. Was that in elementary school or
Wait, it was
high?
this
High
way?
school.
It was
High school?
I thought he liked you. Oh, he likes Kathy. You liked him.
No, Andy likes Kathy.
Andy likes Kathy. Wow.
Oh.
I realize the socioeconomic status of my community plays a role in the answer to the question, but what do you think is a reasonable expectation for parents to pay for summer activities and teenagers in trips for one teenager? And don't say the socioeconomic status of your community plays a role in the answer. What dollar amount would you try to keep summer events and trips to? It's great that he's already thinking about summer.
Yeah,
I
that
love
is-
it.
Well, if
really
it were
great.
Doug pricing it, it would have a 9 in it because he likes the 149
Yeah,
or the
$59,
99.
yeah. Yeah, don't round up. Always round to the 9. Yeah.
Yeah, why
No,
not?
I would say it context does matter.
Oh, he doesn't want that
But
answer.
I won't say that. I would say this. We looked at some missions trips options this year. We're going to do an Ensenada mission trip, which is closer, which is for everybody, but it's still going to be
It's gas.
$300 or $400. I mean, it's going to be high. It's pretty high for a trip that's relatively close. Then some of our students have wanted to go to Africa, and Africa this year is $3,900, really way out of our league. And so I actually just got back from the Dominican Republic last week, and we're looking at a trip there that's like maybe $1,200. And to me, around $1,000 for a trip is that's high. That's the highest I would ever want to go.
But not camp. He's not talking about an
He's talking about
international
mission
No, he said
trip,
mission
youth
trips right at the
camp,
beginning.
and weekend trip.
Yeah, so I would say
But that
Here's what I would do on all three of those. I would put a price. So mission trip, $299. Youth
Exactly.
camp, $99. Weekend trip, $39. And run those by parents and
see
just
what they
say,
say,
here's
yeah.
where I'm planning. What do you think? Can you start making payments now? But I would keep. I
I think
always
there's a
keep
difference
trips
though between
as
international
cheap
mission.
as you can.
Yeah. Yes.
cheap is the key. I absolutely agree.
But there's a difference between an international mission trip and camp.
Yeah, he's saying
Yeah,
I'm
for
planning
sure.
to do mission trip. You can. If
Yeah.
you weren't so peppy and
I'm listening. I'm
Well,
listening. But
you would have
I
heard the
just think
question.
When
that
we selected a camp this past summer, price was a huge issue,
Yep.
and we didn't go to the one that was $150 more.
Yeah.
And we went for the one that we could get under that, $100 under the whatever X $100 mark.
you got to run it by parents, because the reality is that trips for one teenager. Some of your parents can have two teenagers.
Two kids, yeah.
But I would do those prices. I would do weekend cheap, do a $39 and $99 and a $299 trip or something like that, and then let parents, because if not, you're going to be spending your whole spring doing
Fundraising and trying to get money,
which is
yeah.
a total drag, and lower the better, which also makes me think about how late my son came home from small group last night. And I said to him, Cody, why are you home at 10 o'clock? And he says, small group didn't end till 9:30.
Oh,
and I thought,
boy.
Who's the high school pastor?
I don't know who that guy is.
Yeah,
For the record, I did talk to your son for a while last night.
you did.
But I thought it was 9:30 feels a little bit late. We shouldn't have gotten out that late.
Yeah,
Sorry about that, Dad.
that's right. That's just man.
I'll write about it in my new upcoming book. You guys are man.
Yeah.
No,
Well, you know what? When I'm rewriting Purpose-Driven Youth Ministry, that chapter on parents that I want you to read, I just want you to read it twice.
He is a
friendly.
good kid. We talked forever. We were talking about Halloween costumes primarily, and then the big football game tomorrow night. So
He is a good
he's
kid.
really sharp.
We
we
could do a whole
talked forever
podcast.
about Halloween costumes.
I have to go. Do you want to know who I'm going as for Halloween? What time is it?
Oh,
Is
we're
it
done.
time?
We're done.
No, not
Going
Boba Fett.
as like you're
well, we
going-
have a big Halloween
Okay,
event. It's a
okay.
huge thing. Where it's going to be great. I'm going to go as Michael Phelps. I'm going to wear pant leg
pant leg.
Speedos and 6 gold medals and a little swim cap that says Phelps on the side of it, and that's what I'm going as.
Without a shirt?
Yep.
Awesome.
What do you mean pant leg speedos?
Because he wears Speedos
Oh,
from his
right.
ankles to his
Yeah.
All
waist.
right, let's
Gotcha.
help Andy pay for the $1,000 deal. There's
right, what
Bible
can we-
Stuff DVD. Andy, what is this? This is Kurt Johnson's
Watch.
5 lessons,
We can sell the
10
snowball
minutes
microphone.
each, with discussion sheets,
Questions.
promotional cards,
It's
postcards, poster, desktop backgrounds.
You make copies of the
Oh.
DVD for your volunteers.
And then Walt Mueller wrote which I'm excited to read, Making Irresponsible Media Choices. You leaving?
I gotta go. We have a small group debrief in like
Small
30
group
seconds.
debrief. You should have been here on time.
Every week,
Sorry. No, just today. It's our
Oh.
whole.
Okay, we're back together next week.
Absolutely.
same time, lunch.
He's allowed to leave, but I can't leave.
I'm doing ministry though.
You're like making money. He's doing ministry.
Wow.
We're done anyway.
Oh, okay.
Andy, what do we know about this?
So
buy
the-
this in bundles
In 10 packs, yeah.
to give to parents or
You
kids?
give that to kids. Kids actually read it, and they learn how to process the media that's out there.
Process the media.
Yeah.
Okay.
From a spiritual perspective.
Step 1, discover. Step 2, discern. Step 3, decide. All D's, easy to remember. We call that the 3D approach.
Yep.
3D
Develop it
approach.
from scratch.
I bet Walt is my hero. Here's something from Greg Steer called The Gospel Journey, which
It's gonna be awesome.
I'm supposed to review it, which I'm kind of excited about. He's a
Check out
wild
that
man.
letterhead.
He's a wild man. Greg is so crazy. All right. Anything else?
Just promo code SYM podcast when they're ready.
Promo code SYM podcast when you register for the conference, and the winner of that, we're going to do a podcast dinner. We're going to do a
With
live
Doug Fields and
podcast
friends.
at the show.
Yes.
I mean, at the
That's
conference.
awesome.
Okay. Anything else?
Is PDYM registration good to go?
Open, yeah.
It
PDYMcommunity.com.
is open?
Yeah.
How long has it been open for?
Well, it's been open.
Really?
Yeah. It's there.
And the best place to get information on PDYM is at?
PDYMcommunity.com.
Beautiful.
All right, Andy's trying to get a
I
piece of
know.
that too. You can tell.
Why all of a sudden are you a
when would you ever
PDYM
promote
fan?
somebody else besides Simply Youth Ministry?
Unbelievable.
Which I don't blame you. But and if you know where Andy might want to live in Colorado,
I already have a house.
you have a house.
Well, I don't have a house that I own.
But
I have a
yeah.
house that
They
we
already
own.
found one, right?
All right.
Mm,
Thanks, you guys.
bye.
Love you. Blessings. Stay alive another week. Protect your heart and your marriage. See you next Thursday.
Hey podcast friends, this is Chris. I just wanted to give you a quick reminder that our intro contest is quickly coming to a close. We've extended the deadline to Wednesday, October 22nd, 2008. Please visit simplyyouthministry.com/podcastintrocontest.html for all the details. And remember, the prize is 2 free admissions to the 2009 National Youth Ministry Conference in Columbus. We'd love to see you there.